Yes, yes, people, what is going on? Hope everyone is doing well today. Today is 5:15, Friday the 15th. And yeah, feels kind of weird. It's the whole bank holiday weekend. So I'm hoping that each and every one of you who's head on is does celebrate Easter. Hope you all are doing well on this Easter weekend. Um, please let me know how the sound is coming through. Please let me know whether you can hear me all good. I believe I'm coming through clearly, but as always, please let me know. Get a nice little sound check before we get into it. But yeah, hope everyone is doing well this weekend, this extended weekend, and I hope if you do celebrate Easter, happy Easter. I know technically Easter Sunday, obviously it's on Sunday, and yeah, I know I used to. What I used to do, I don't know if this is the same for anyone else. Is Fridays, Good Friday, used to always be couldn't eat meat. So I don't know what it was, but in our household, we could not eat any meat on a Friday. That was one of the things that we had to do. That was pretty much like a law. If bro, we got pretty much scared to death if we were to eat any meat. It was like if we ate meat, you were going straight to hell. That's how serious it was when it came to Good Friday. So I don't know if that's the same for anyone else out there. Let me know in the chat whether I'm the only, I'd say only, whether it's just my family or whether it's just if they've seen it or that was the case. But I know for a fact that was how it was, at least in my neck of the woods. But yeah, funny stuff. But please make sure when you come and stream, you like the stream, share the stream, subscribe if you are new. I'm not going to be here long. I'm not going to be here for a couple of hours. I just wanted to get this live stream out. I just wanted to get this topic out while it's still fresh in my head, especially after yesterday's stream and also being on. Big up to Falcon Black. I do want to say this actually because Falcon, you did kind of inspire this as well when you did your live stream. I do recommend everyone to subscribe to his channel. Very good channel, very good content. He keeps it all about self improvement. He's all about self improvement, and this is where I want to start with, and this is where I want to get to it because what I've noticed, and this is for a long time. I can't lie, this ain't nothing new, but what I will say for a long time that I've been noticing is a lot of men who claim that they're all about accountability and all this kind of all this taking responsibility, which by the way, I don't disagree with. I agree wholeheartedly with it. What they actually are, and when it comes to self-improvement, is they actually are want women to be accountable and have no idea about being accountable themselves. And again, I have no problem with that at all. Some of the stuff that has been said, I fully agree with it. But what I find interesting is that when it comes to talking about men's issues, one of the things that always gets talked about is what about the women? What about the women? What about the women? What about the women? What about them? I'm talking about you and what we need to do as men to improve. Because at the end of the day, and this is what I want to get into a little bit in the stream. Again, I'm not going to be here too long. Is a lot of us guys, we have now been in a stage where I believe a lot of men, especially guys who frequent in the spaces that we all know, the red pill spaces, and a lot of the guys are on my channel, they're in, these red pill spaces, is they've been mollycoddled and they've been pandered to. And now the spirit that I'm getting from them is one of laziness, one of fake self-improvement. I want just of, you know what, they're happy letting their woman be above them in the ranks. Because I made a comment yesterday and I just wanted to see the reaction. And the reaction I got was pretty much kind of what I expected. I made this comment, and this is true. Afro-Caribbean men earn less than their Afro-Caribbean counterparts. And what did I get as a response? So what? And I'm just like, I was going to respond, but I thought, you know what? I had to leave it because I had to just process exactly what I heard. I mean, because at the end of the day, a lot of statements have been made about how, women want this type of guy who earns that kind of money, that kind of stuff, all that kind of other um, rhetoric that gets passed down. And then when I looked at the stats and I thought, well, hold on. For starters, a lot of black guys won't even qualify anyway because most of you guys, again, black Afro-Caribbean men, just picking you guys out as the ones. Most of you guys don't even earn as much as your women do anyway. Your women out earn you, but yet and still, instead of what did I get from a lot of the guys in there? It was so what? And it got me thinking, bro, we're in a lot of bad shape or worse shape than I thought we would be. So much so that I thought to myself, truth be told, I don't think I relate to a lot of people. Now, this is obviously internet, so I obviously I don't know a lot of you, but truth be told, I actually don't relate to a lot of guys. A lot of black men nowadays, I just do not relate to you. And Here's me thinking, you guys will at least at some point be like, yeah, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. But truth be told, you guys only care about it when it comes to women self-improving. You see, when you want to tell women about what they should or shouldn't be doing, again, I'm not gonna disagree. You don't want to wear and weave fake nails. I ain't gonna disagree with it. But when it comes to what you should and shouldn't be doing, it's always a well, 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 and I'm thinking to myself, you guys are meant to be men. Forget the women for a second. You guys are meant to be men. And as men, as a base standard, you should be out producing your woman, out earning your woman. You should be doing things which your woman, let's be honest, has to match up to you, even if, and this is the next thing, even if we're in a land where we don't own things as much as the next man does, even if we're in a land which we don't earn as much as the next man do, the one thing which men should do on a whole, on the average, again, averages, not every individual, but on the average, they should be out earning, out producing their own woman. That's kind of the duty of a man. But when I listen to some of these guys, what I realize is this: truth be told, all you guys want to do is be pandered to. All you guys want to be told is, you're fine the way you are. It's okay if a woman wants an average guy, or not. I say average. Let me rephrase: a below average guy. It's okay for you guys to be who you guys are. And I'm like, no, that's not how men are supposed to act. I'm not going to disrespect you because you don't earn as much as the next man is doing, but I'm going to tell you, look, you can do better. That's what I think every guy should be out here doing. Again, whatever that looks like in your world is what it looks like in your world. But as an average, as a collective, we are way far behind than we need to be. I'm definitely sure we can all agree on that. But this is the problem. You guys actually don't believe that shit. I'm just listening to a lot of the rhetoric that's being made and just a lot of the things, just the foolishness that I'm hearing. Because I'm what my channel used to be about, and I need to get back to this, is my channel used to be about statistics, showing the stats about what is actually taking place. And I used to show stats about income, our income in comparison to other groups, our employment when it comes to other groups, our university results, whether it be A level, sorry, education results, whether it be A level, GCSE, university results. I used to try and paint the picture, say, look, this is where we actually are. Because what I'm hearing right now is a lot of bullshit statistics and bullshit data from other nations which don't account for what we are over here. And I've got to go back to my core message and my core essence of what I used to be about, which is all about what is actually the truth, what is actually stats, as opposed to just anecdotes. And let me just show you this. And again, please, everyone, if you're in the chat, please make sure you like, share the stream, subscribe if you are new. This is the impromptu stream. So if you're listening to this on the playback, this has been impromptu. I just wanted to get this out here because I really, 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 really do think, no. I know for a fact, we as men, we are not where we need to be. And here's the thing, it's not even the case of saying we have to be above white men. But damn, where we are right now is nowhere near where we should be. And this is the killing part. So I need to bring this right back into everyone's forward to let you know, you guys are complaining about women, but truth be told, women are surpassing you. And I'm like, you guys keep complaining about we complain about the same stuff time and time and time again, the same issue time and time and time again. And I'm like, the most important things that we should be focusing on our life, i.e., what we're earning, how we're living, how we're eating, where we're living, as a core basis, man, we don't even care about it. But that's what I kind of want to show. But let me just share this because there's a few things I just wanted to get off my chest today. Again, this is the impromptu stream. This is all the same. I mean, look, here's what I say to this. I want to agree with your statement. I really, really do. And here's the thing: some black men are self-improvement. So some black men are. I ain't gonna disagree with you. But you know what a lot I see? I see a lot of, it's almost like, I say call it feminism for men, where this space has created a situation where men are comfortable in their bullshit because they've been told they're not the problem. This is the problem I have with the space. This space has allowed, because of, again, they're stuck in this rage mode. They're stuck in this, it's not your fault mode. They're stuck in this, well, whatever you do, it's not going to be good enough mode. Because they're hearing that time and time and time and time and time again, what I'm actually seeing, R&B, and I'm not saying that what you're saying is wrong, I'm seeing a complete role reversal where men are actually becoming a lot more weak in their mindset. So when you bring up this topic, guess what? All I hear is excuses. All I hear is excuses. Every single five things excuses. Yet and still, I guarantee it, when it comes to discussing women and their role and what they should or shouldn't be doing, you will not give them their time of day for giving an excuse. You won't tell a black woman the way she wears a weave, she does it because she's trying to look good, because she wants to, I don't know, fit in with white culture, because she feels some sort of self-esteem, or she thinks that she can't get on. You will never give her that time of day to even understand it. But when it comes to black men now, it's always an excuse. It's always this. We try. When black women say they try, it's never good enough. So I'm sorry, guys. I'm not going to give you this leeway. I'm not going to give it to you. It ain't good enough. So whenever you guys say that, again, this is a collective, includes me and everyone. A lot of these things I hear, I'm sorry, you guys use an excuse when it comes to your own. But when it comes to women, you want them to be every and anything and super feminine, super fit, super this, super that. You want them to be everything. It's crazy. And yes, Jesse, yes, this is the core of it. This is why a lot of guys, they kill me with this crap. They kill me with this because they don't even understand what self-improvement even is, truth be told. But yeah, all they're improving for is for women. Now, here's the thing. I'm not naive, I'm not stupid. We all improve for each other. Let's not be naive. Let's not be naive. At the end of the day, yes, I as a man, as a heterosexual man, you want to self-improve because you want the best quality life in everything, and that includes women. Likewise, whatever women say, I know the line. When they try and look as good as they do, especially when they're broken up, when a woman breaks up with a guy, one of the first places that they go to is the gym after they've gone past their, you know, crying stage and all that kind of other stuff. They go into the gym because they know to get back on that dating stage or dating market, she needs to be in the best shape she possibly can do. So we all know the game. We all know it. But yes, when it comes to self-improvement, what guys here in this space is it must be about women. It must be all about women. And I'm like, no, 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 no. Self-improvement for yourself first. That's really the key for self-improvement. That's really what it was supposed to be about. You see, originally, all these movements for men were supposed to be strictly for men. It was about what men should be doing, irrespective of what a woman is doing. But that's not what's happening right now. What's happening now is too many are focused on the wrong things. And not only that, when I point out the fact that you're failing, you know what you're going to say? You don't even care. So what? Because the reason why, and this is the next thing, you guys are actually, when it comes to the dating market, because it's all about women now, let's be honest, you guys are socialists when it comes to the dating market. And this is a strange one for me because I swear to days, every single black person I spoke to on this arena, pretty much, yeah, I'd say about 90%, they swear up and down they're conservative. They swear up and down that they're conservatives. And I thought to myself, hold on a second. If you're conservative, that must mean you're for a unregulated free market, because that's what a lot of conservatives believe in. They believe in less government, which means less control, which means less government telling you who and what you shouldn't be doing. So I thought to myself, then you guys should apply that same logic to the dating game. But no, 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 no. This is why I call you guys fake conservatives. You're not conservatives. When it comes to the dating game, you're socialists. You want the women to choose you based on a standard that you've selected, as opposed to actually in the unregulated dating market going out there and competing. That's what you guys want. You see, when it comes to women, you want them to compete. And there's a classic phrase I've used before, which I didn't come up with this one. And this is it: socialism for the rich, capitalism for the poor. This is what it comes down to. You guys want capitalism for the women, you want socialism for the men. You guys aren't happy with self-improvement. You guys aren't happy with this because you think, just off the basis of having a penis and the fact that you are not a roadman, not a hood or whatever, you should be able to have the pick of the litter. It doesn't work that way in the unregulated system. But this is the thing. You guys are you. I thought you brothers wanted this stuff. I thought you guys were conservatives. If you were conservatives and you cared about this, guess what? You'd have to understand, like every other man, like every other woman has to do. They have to compete themselves. Is it fair? No, it's not fair. But you know what? Life is not fair. But you guys are meant to be conservatives. I thought I'm talking to conservatives. You guys are not conservatives, man. You are fake. A lot of you guys are just fake. You want what you want, like you want what you want. That's why now a lot of you guys, I'm seeing you guys are just nothing but pretty much male feminists. You're male feminists. You want what you want, how you want it, when you want it. You want women to acquiesce to your demands while you ain't shit yourselves. Yes, I've said it. Some of you guys are losers. You're losers. Sometimes we have to tell men the straight up truth. You're losers. And it's criminal because when I hear some of these things and who I hear some of these talking points, I'm like, bro, it's crazy. It's crazy. And here's the thing. When the stats are pointing you right in the face, what can we say? What can I say here? What happens when I say when the stats are pointing in your face? Nothing. On average, again, a lot of Afro-Caribbean black men, they don't earn much of their women. When it comes to employment, they're nowhere near there. It's all a case of, look, stats don't lie. As what do people say? Men lie, women lie, children lie, stats don't lie. This is the case. And Dej, who am I talking about? I'm talking about the whole situation. There's no one in particular. This is just when I've been analyzing, sitting back on the space, when I've been looking at, even going through my live chat myself through my last few streams, and when I looking at some of the comments and some of the when people go on panels, not on my panel, on other people's panels. Again, big up to Falcon Black. He kind of inspired me to do this live stream. And when I look at things like, let's just take something dead simple, numbers. Now, as a YouTuber, as a content creator, one of the things you have to look at is your analytics. And your analytics will decide what videos to produce, what videos not to produce. And I already know, and everybody knows, and you can all tell me in the chat, what type of videos you think are going to do the most numbers and do the least numbers. The most numbers are likely to do with some BS talking about some, I don't know, dating, either be IR dating, whether it be some foolery, whether it be something like that, or some entertainment piece, something of that nature. That will do the most numbers, at least in my channel. Whereas any other channel talking about, I don't know, hell, I did one talking about how the inflation, the government, how they've basically messed up the nation with inflation, high taxes, all this, which has an actual massive impact to all of us. Forget your dating preferences for a second. Taxes, the fuel prices, all these things have an actual tangible difference to all of us. Those get less numbers. Now, I know this is entertainment, but this is the whole point. Well, when a lot of times I hear these guys talk about what kind of content they want to hear, what they're into, what they want, a lot of content creators, myself included, I'm saying bullshit. I'm saying you're lying. I'm saying whatever you're saying to me, I don't want to hear it. This is why sometimes there's certain streams I want to do, which I'm like, I can do it. It'll just be for me and some other people who are, as they call them, day ones. I know who you guys are. I know who you women are. So don't get it confused. But I know what time it is when it comes to certain stream. If I load up a stream, I already know what's going to happen. I know what the kind of chaos ensues. And listen, I'm not gonna lie to you. It's good. It is good for numbers, but this is the problem. Truth be told, when it comes to things like self-improvement, it really is only for the few. And Jesse, I think you said it in the chat. You're right. Self-improvement is only for the few. And again, this ain't talking about you have to be some sort of Superman. This ain't talking about you have to be some sort of megastar. This ain't talk about that kind of level. Again, people get it confused. And this is why a lot of these men, truth be told, they're too far gone when it comes to these type of conversations. They hear self-improvement, and the first thing they hear of is, oh, you must mean I have to be a top 10 percenter. No, never said that. But hell, do you think you can not be a bottom 10 percenter? But this is how it is. This is why some of these conversations are so disingenuous. And again, all it comes down to is how when I say self-improvement, or when other people say it, they hear it as, oh, you want me to self-improve just to get a below quality woman. Never said that. Never said that. But it's all about one thing: the pool nanny. That's all it's all been about. And I'm like, bro, there are bigger things out there to worry about. And truth be told, a lot of us, we've been complaining about the wrong things for too long. The space about men complaining about women. Now, I'll say this as a precursor, because I know people are going to get this confused, and especially if you listen to on the playback. I'm not saying that men shouldn't come together to discuss their grievances and issues with the opposite sex. Never said that at all. But one thing I've always noticed is that seems to be a cover up for your failings as a man. Because I'm like, some of the guys who talk the most ish, when you look in their background, I'm thinking to myself, bro, you shouldn't be talking at all. Now, people would argue, well, maybe their experiences mean that they can talk about it. I'm like, well, no, actually, I disagree sometimes. I think their experiences should mean actually what you should do is probably more humble yourself and come from a different viewpoint, not act as if you're somehow the godfather or the spokesperson for whatever situation that you think it is. But again, this is what happens when it comes to, social media influences and life. It's not about who you are as an individual. It's about how well you sound, how well you can speak, and just how well you can play the game. So I understand it. I get it. I'm not hating on it. It just is what it is. Some people get where they get just because, you know what, they look good. We know this is the game since day one. But what I realize about this space, because men have been talking like this for, I think it's over 10 years now, even serious, over 10 years. It may be even longer than that if people really, 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 really were there at the beginning with like Fugtician and Sergeant Willie Pete and all them kind of people. Is what's now happened is, instead of it being about, improving men and just good looking out for situations like divorce laws, childcare laws, alimony, them kind of things, which is good looking out. Now it's just become a case of, guess what? These men are now comfortable in their position, being pretty much losers, some of them, and all they're trying to do is basically act as they want to have a social structure when it comes to the dating game. So what they want is these, let's be honest, loser types of men having these women who, I'm guessing by all accounts, most men want. And I'm like, the game don't work that way. The game doesn't work that way. And it's criminal. It's criminal. It's criminal. And the reason why I thought to myself, I was again just looking at all the past live streams and looking at the history of what's been going on. I thought to myself, you know what? I really, 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 really probably need to just not switch up my content, but just be mindful of the content that I put out. Because sometimes I think I feed into it. I just got to be honest with yourself. Sometimes I think I feed into the content, I feed into the BS, I feed into the chaos, and there is a level of care that I think I need to, expose on a content creator. I think there's a level of responsibility that most content creators should have if they care. If they care, some of them don't care. Some of them will do what they want to do, but if they care, a responsibility just to try and balance, even out the scales, balance it out. Because at the end of the day, here's a truth, guys. Not everything is women's fault, right? Not everything is women's fault. There are things which, yes, are your fault. And when it comes to that situation, and this is another thing that kills me the most when it comes to getting pregnant, because the woman ultimately is responsible for if the child comes into life or not. I will not disagree. What men then pretty much act as if they can do is pretty much sleep with a woman raw and make sure everything's okay. I'm like, hold on a second, bro. You protect yourself first, and then once you do that, then you don't have to worry about anything else later. But a lot of guys, I'm telling you, with the rhetoric that I hear, they pretty much are co-signing guys sleeping raw dog with women. And if the woman gets pregnant or whatever happens, oh, it's the woman's fault. I'm like, bro, any reasonable man, any sensible man, any responsible male man will tell his boys, look, the moment you do that and she gets pregnant and she keeps that child, Negro, that's on you. Because you know what? You didn't do your part. You see, there are two, Jesse, you're 100% correct. It does take two to tango. And know what kills me the most? You would not be in that situation if you at least didn't protect yourself. You see, certain things I don't worry about because you know what? If a situation arises, I know ain't gonna be me because I know how to protect myself in certain situations, especially in this one. It's not like you slipped, bumped, and fell and it happened. Bullshit. So when I hear this kind of notion from guys saying, oh, it's all the woman's fault, it's all this, is all that, I know what it is. You guys just want to, guess what? Abdicate your responsibility. And you guys use that whole tag of, well, we have to pay from the courts. We have to pay from the courts. That's our responsibility. That's our accountability. Well, let me tell you this, because I even call bullshit on that to a certain degree. Because what the hell does a child, I was going to swear, what the hell does a child care about you paying child support when you're not in the child's life? You see, these are the same men who talk about there aren't fathers in the lives, but then when it comes down to it, they actually don't care about being in the child's life because according to them, as long as they're on child support, that must mean, you know, they clap their hands with it and they're gone. And I'm just like, hold on a second. So let me get this straight. You didn't protect yourself enough. That woman then being, the sleazy woman that she is, decided to keep the kid. And then all of a sudden now, guess what? That child, who's of no fault of that child's own, is brought into this world. And guess what happens? That child doesn't have a father, has a dysfunctional relationship. And guess what? The cycle continues. But that guy, according to these men, that guy is, because he's paying child support, he's fine. Oh no, he's responsible. No, 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 no. To raise a kid is more than just paying a bill. To raise a kid, it's more than that. It's actually being in the child's life. But again, these are conversations where, truth be told, it's very difficult to have. That's why sometimes I'm like, for certain conversations, I'm shutting down the panel. I'm not having these panels open when it comes to these conversations because I know what happens. You can have one side that says it's just men's fault, one side that said it's just women's fault, and I can't be honest with that BS. It takes two, and here's the thing: we all know on what end who's responsible for it. We all know what it is. But this is what it is nowadays. This is what it is with these spaces. These spaces have allowed men to be exactly who they are, which a lot of them are below average. People say average. A lot of you guys are below average. And I was going to bring up this stat, and I've not brought it up yet, but give me 1 second. I'm just going to see if I can make this a bit bigger. Sorry, 1 second. On the fly. I'm normally better at getting this all together, but you know what? We just have to move how we just have to move, right? So, right, this is a stat I showed beforehand. And again, this is what I mean when I say, look, there's certain things that we have to worry about ourselves as opposed to worrying about women. And this is one of the things. Now, this is on the government website, the hourly rate of pay split by the groups, female and male. Now, as you can see, for most groups, except for 3 groups, the man outproduces the woman, as it should be. Here's the thing. Keep this in mind now. Feminism doesn't just affect black people. It affects other groups as well. I don't know if you noticed this, but again, according to some black people, feminism only affects black people. Anyway, so as you can see here, we have the groups. So many different groups. And there are 3 groups three groups in which the women earn more than the men. That is Arabs, that is Black Caribbeans, and that is Bangladeshis. Now, I don't mean to be disrespectful, but we're gonna have to go here. The Bangladeshis, they're a group who a lot of them they sleep with their cousins. So there's a lot of issues genetically that happens with their children. So that's why not only is that the case, but they're the least earning ethnic group. But look at Black Caribbeans, because this other ethnic group, I have no idea what that even is. So let's just say Black Caribbeans. This is why I'm focused on you guys first. I'm a Black Caribbean, it is what it is. But we are the third least earning group in the UK. Out of all these separation of groups, we got even the mixed white and Black Caribbean, Black Africans, the other whites, white British, Chinese, the Indians, white Irish, they completely outproduce us. So when I hear this stuff about most people are average, I say, hold on a second, there's two things here. We are not like the average. We are below average. Again, we're the third, if we take out this other ethnic group, which we don't know what the hell that is, we're the third least performing group. And not only that, I would earn more than us. I'm just like, there's certain things I see, certain things I hear. There's certain things which I'm just like, look, the more important conversation that we need to have. And there are more things which, when I listen to the kind of conversation, I'm like, truth be told, you guys are more happy being in your current state of flux as opposed to actually putting in the work. I'm not saying you guys are going to go in and be, again, CEOs and all this kind of stuff. No, but damn. And I hate to have to say this, but there's a reason why sometimes I understand. I don't fully agree. But I understand why certain women say the things they say about men, about Black men in particular. Because I'm like, if your group as a whole doesn't even own more or earn more than your women, then as a whole, your women's not going to. Hey, I don't respect you guys like that. That's the thing. That's the craziest thing. I don't respect you guys like that. So what do you think the women's going to do? They ain't going to respect you like that. And again, people make it out to be you have to be this and you have to be that. It's like, bro, R&B. And this is the thing. This is the thing when I talk about the excuses. Do you expect Black men to hire themselves into these white companies? No, I do not. But let me ask you this question. Are we the only non-white group in this nation? No, we're not the only white group in this nation. As you saw by the chart there, the highest earning group are not white. It's Chinese, white Irish. So you got the Chinese, the white Irish, and you got Indians. They're up there as the main earning groups. It's not even white people. So I always find this interesting here. How do you expect, or how do you account for non-white people higher on their earnings than white people? What's that down to? And here's the thing. Yeah, I don't disagree with you here. I don't disagree. We need to create our own companies. And here's the thing. Here's another stat I want to show you. Because on that note, when it comes to creating their own, I suppose, companies, come on. I'm getting on the fly. When it comes to creating our own companies, when it comes to being SME owners and everything like that. But even when it comes to the in general where we are, and I show you the difference between the groups. This is the crazy thing about the difference between the groups and how, again, when it comes to us as men, listen, our first rule of thumb, I don't care what environment you're in, you have to outproduce an average woman. You just have to. Everything else after that, we can have a discussion. But if you can't even do that one thing, sometimes I'm just saying, man, please. It's crazy. All right. Right. We're doing this on the fly. Hold on, can I share this window instead? All right, I think I can. All right, okay, so this is a stat I pulled again from the government website, which split the men and women into their groups. And as you can see here, on the left, you got your higher positions, and then all the way to the right, you've got basically never worked or long-term unemployed. Now, this is what I saw. This is kind of where I was like, and again, when it comes to Black Caribbeans, and Black Africans, and then you got the again. So this on the top one here, this is the men, and the bottom one here, this is the women. Now, when I saw some of the numbers and stuff, I thought a lot of Black Caribbean women are in a lot more higher positions collectively than men. And I thought to myself, well, I say collectively, but they're in a lot more, let's just say, from intermediate occupations upwards, where a lot of guys seem to be, I don't know. Some of them have never worked unemployed, which are higher than their women. Now, granted, I'll say this just to not completely mess myself. Yep, Black Caribbean men 2% better when it comes to higher managerial professional. Black Caribbean women here, they're a bit better when it comes to the other managerial position, not quite the high, but again, lower to intermediate. Again, when it comes to intermediate, black women, Caribbean, a lot better when it comes to us than black men. And when I looked at a lot of these charts in comparison to other groups, I know you don't like to hear this, when it comes to other groups, there are things which I'm just like, we really aren't as productive when it comes to our women as we say we are. A lot of times I hear a lot of this conversation about how well we are doing in comparison to our counterparts, but nah, bro, there's a lot of things I'm seeing which I used to do these stats on, which I'm going to come back to, which, truth be told, we aren't doing as well as we should do. Now, again, just to clarify, I'm not saying that I'm expecting everyone to be CEOs. I'm not saying when we talk about self improvement, everyone has to be that guy. But I will say this: I do think most productive groups, which again is pretty much all groups in the UK, bar 3 groups, including us, their men do outproduce their women on whatever level. It is what it is. And when I hear some of these conversations, these topics, I'm like, man, we are way, way, way far off. Now, it is that is a question. And yeah, I mean, there's been an argument about we've been here for centuries. In small numbers, though, in small numbers, it's a case of a little of us have been here, a little bit there. Back to Roman times. I know I hear a lot of things about Romans, and then obviously in the case of before the massive influx of Caribbeans and Africans from the Windrush down over. But even still, even since we've been here since that time, again, using other groups, they have seemed to cultivate it a little bit better than we have. We have dropped the ball in ways which other groups have understood the assignment better. That is what I would definitely agree with. But as for us being here for centuries, I mean, yeah, that's just one of them things. And yeah, Anan, I agree with your statement there. But unfortunately, this is how this is how the census is conducted. So what we have over here is we have Africans and Caribbeans into just two separate groups. So when it comes to any stats, any numbers that you want to find, it's not really separated in a way which you're probably going to want to find out, like, if you're South African, if you're Ghanaian, if you're Nigerian, if you're this, if you're that. So unfortunately, it's not, unless you have very, very, very low level stats, which governmental websites don't provide. Unfortunately, it's in that kind of way. But Asians, they have Pakistanis, Indians, and Bangladeshis, so they've been able to split themselves better than what we have done. So I think in the future it may become that way. But yeah, that's just unfortunately how it is. That's just at the moment it is. But yeah, I've heard this stuff. I've heard this. Yeah, Ghanaians do well. I heard Nigerians do well. Do what I agree that non-Somali African Britons are doing better than Pakistanis. Again, I'm not too sure, bro. I will say this. Um, a lot of Pakistanis, they do seem to I'll say Bangladeshis are probably the worst group out of the South Asians, then Pakistanis, then Indians. If they do better than our non-Somali African brothers, probably, probably. I know Pakistanis, they're a bit of a different breed, just because I'll be honest, they're more influenced by Islam. That's what I'll say. When I went to school, in different to the Indians were bit more different than the Pakistanis. So that's what I say about that group. So I think you're probably right, but I don't have the level of granular level stats when I look into it that the UK offers. It's one of those crazy, crazy, crazy things. But I really didn't want this to be a long ass live stream. So I'm not going to be here long. I'm not opening the panel, guys. So don't expect me to open the panel. But it was just really a case of, look, the question I have to really ask is, do we really care about the things that we really care about? And when I look at the numbers, the stats, because these stats are like only like a year, 2 years ago, since pre-pandemic, because of everything being shut down. And I know things take time. Don't get me wrong. I know things take time. But what kills me the most is we've been speaking about these conversations for ages. And I know it's easy to jump on and talk about these conversations. Everyone deals with women. Everyone deals with men if you're, heterosexual. But I just find the conversation just to be so enlightening, when sometimes when I say things about how we as men should be productive, it's almost a case of, so what? We don't need to be productive. We don't care about this kind of stuff. It's all about, women should do this, women should do that, women should do this, women should do that. Now, again, I'm not disagreeing that women should do their part, but bro, you need to do your part. And that's all it's all been about. Do your part first, worry about everything else later. There's things that you can control, things you cannot control. You cannot control any human being. That's what I'm going to say. All what you can control is your goddamn selves. And when I look at what we are controlling and what we don't control, the stats show me a completely different figure. Even when it comes to our publications, our mediums. When I was looking at there's something called Black in Data, which if you're like want to be data scientists or data analysts or in any of that technology industries, there's people who can connect, partner you up with to make sure that you can maybe help you with jobs and mentorship programs. And when I looked at the people who actually own it, the people who actually founded it, they're all pretty much a group of women, black women. So there's another thing as well where I'm like, black women at the moment seem to be wanting to kill the game in life, where black men just seems to be complaining about the same shit time and time over, time over, time over, time over. I'm like, when I'm seeing some of the things which I'm trying to get involved in, a lot of them being led by women. I'm like, whoa, now big ups to a lot of the sisters. No problem with that. But it does show a hell of a lot when you see that when it comes to things like data. Now, this is what really knocked me for six. And I'm my fan. Let me show you this. Let me show you this. Let me show you this. Yeah, gaps narrow, gaps do narrow. You ain't lying. You ain't lying. You ain't lying. But do you know when it comes to certain things, I think Jordan Peterson said the same thing, where even in Scandinavia, where they're trying to make it equal, they realize that men will do typical men things and women will do typically women's things, even though they try to make it all 50-50 here, 50-50 there. Now, again, big ups to the sisters, but this is Black in Data. This is where they're trying to connect people of color in data. You know, their spear, you know how it is. And when I looked at the picture about the about, because I want to know, okay, cool, because I'm in data myself or that data field, if you like. So it's something that interests me a lot. And I was like, big ups to him. But when I looked at the panel, again, all sisters, you know, they don't look like the stereotypes. Someone will probably disagree with me here, but and two brothers. So these were all the founders who care the team, analyst teams. You can scroll over it. And again, like I said, big ups to the sisters. But even when it comes to things which stereotypically men are the ones who I've been told are the ones who are analytical, they're logical, they're driven, they're this. Now I'm seeing a bit of a role reversal where I'm hearing a lot of illogical conversations from men, but more logical conversations from women. And then when I'm piecing this all together, looking at where we are in our positions, looking who's running things when it comes to our publications, when it comes to even things like data, I'm like, hold on a second, hold on, hold on, hold on. What are we doing here? What is going on here? Is there something going on? Is something wrong? Is something wrong with have we missed a trick here? I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know. But the question for this live stream really is do black men actually really care about self-improvement? Or is it they care about self-improvement when it comes to or is it they only care that women self-improve? They think that they're good. And unfortunately, what happening now is because women are actually self-improving in other areas, out again, degrees, the career, university degrees, etc., etc. What we're seeing is a lot more women are succeeding in these professions, where a lot of guys are actually floundering because guess what? You're too busy worrying about women being submissive. You're too busy about worrying about this. And I thought, bro, sort yourself out first. Sort yourself out when it comes to your life, your job, your career, and then at least at that point, have that conversation. But a lot of brothers that I've even when I go outside and I see black men coming out the bookies and things like that, I'm like, what? It's just, yeah. Do black people care about self-improvement? They tell me that they do, but I don't. I don't think that's the case. I really don't think that's the case. It just is what it is. Um, yeah, yeah, listen, Anan, you're preaching to the choir a little bit here. So if you put all African nationality Britons in one group, um, yeah, I mean, two things. Yeah. So again, the stats will only put us more than one group, and there is social economic reasons for this as well. Even I would argue when it comes to certain things, if you talk about stop and search, unfortunately, no one's going to separate you between a Nigerian, a Ghanaian, a Bayesian. No one's going to really separate the two groups, are they? They're just going to see you as all black people. If you're dressed in a certain way, that might be another thing, but no one's going to really separate you. So it's just one of those things. But yeah, and this is it really. Yeah, I do see a lot of black men running a lot of things. Again, they've taken advantage of the opportunities that they've been having, and a lot of opportunities which guys say they don't have because of feminism. I'm thinking actually it's not the case. You guys have just lost that drive. You've lost that edge, and this is something which I kind of wanted to. Hopefully, in a future live stream, I'll connect with Falcon Black to talk about in regards to just drive, ambition. Because obviously he does martial arts, and I think there's studies have proven this that men's testosterone levels have decreased. And we all know that testosterone is a massive driver when it comes to motivation, of course, physicality, but a lot of things is driven to led by guess what? Our drive, our ability to hunt, our ability to eat, all that kind of other stuff. Our testosterone levels have decreased. I think it's the lowest since, oh God knows when. I can't remember the dates, the start off the top of my head, but I know for a fact that men's testosterone levels in the West have completely and utterly decreased. It's crazy. Um, yeah, Stanley, I do. Well, yeah, I think it is a male thing. Yeah, if you talk about what I'm thinking you're talking about, so it is definitely something which I'm seeing, and this is why I just put this impromptu live stream, because I thought to myself, you know what? Uh, I'm a black man at the end of the day, so yes, black men, I do care about where you are, even though in this live stream it probably doesn't sound like it, but I do care where we are, how well we're doing, etc. Like that. When I see certain stats, even though it may not be the cleanest stats for you, Anan, when I see these stats, when I see these numbers, when I see what's going on in my life, when I go on the street, I see a hell of a lot of situations which A doesn't point to a lot of the conversation that I hear online, and B points to another conversation, which is a lot of men, truth be told, need to look in the mirror about what's going on in their lives. It's not the women's fault. Bro, you need to look at yourself first. Once you look at yourself first and properly analyze yourself in that mirror, then I'm like, all right, cool. But a lot of guys, I'm telling you, bro, I'm telling you, when I see certain things, bro, they don't quite correlate. So yeah, that's how I see it. But yeah, do black men care about self-improvement? They actually care about it? I don't know. I don't know. Controversial but true. Listen. Oh man. When I saw that, when obviously using the live stream yesterday and I played that video, and listen, that whole talk about submission. Do you know what I also believe? This I've been thinking back, and other content creators have commented on this as well. I don't think guys actually really want a submissive woman. They say that they do. They say they want this woman who pretty much resembles a stereotypical 1950s woman. I'm pretty sure these guys do not want that. They don't want that. They say that they do, but they really, really don't. Because a lot of these guys, when I realize what kind of woman they're dealing with, they ain't no 1950s woman. They ain't that kind of woman at all. They don't care for it. They really don't care for a woman like that. I'm convinced that they do. I'm convinced that they don't. They say that they want it, but truth be told, they don't, because they're giving airtime to these women who I'm like, why would you care about this? What this woman even thinks, or what this woman even talks about? I'm like, a lot of these guys, they preach a message, but truth be told, yeah, I know they don't want it. I know they don't. I know they don't. But anyway, that was a live stream today. That's what I wanted to do for this little live. It was going to be a little short, impromptu video. Appreciate everyone for coming and supporting the show. Please make sure you like, share the stream, subscribe if you are new. But yeah, I just wanted to get this off my chest after hearing a few comments and Falcon Black's live stream. Again, I recommend, if you care about self-improvement, that you most definitely check his channel out at all. He's good brother. Oh, okay. I get what you're saying. And yeah, I do agree. Again, I hear it on, I suppose, the white side as well. Or say the non-black side. Let's do that. Yeah, class issue as well as a male issue. Yeah, I hear you. But yeah, please make sure you like the stream, just subscribe if you're new, share, all that good stuff. Until next time, I'm out.